Casper! Casper! Always somebody, isn't there, eh? Somebody who wants to be awkward. Just like you, Casper.
Casper, you make me sick.
Hey there, welcome to Pod and Deliver. Tonight we're looking at a film titled Kes. This is a 1970 film directed by Ken Loach. It stars a young man by the name of, his name is Di Bradley, also known as David Bradley. He plays Billy Casper. And the story resolves around Billy, who's looks like he's 12, but he's supposed to be 15 years old. A lot of other kids are bigger. You right away you see that he's gets picked on quite a bit by the teachers, by other students, by his big brother who just torments him, and other adults just kind of let it happen. So you see this young man going to school. It's a British film, and Ruben, I'm not sure if you had trouble with it, but I had trouble sometimes listening to their dialogue because it's such heavy accents. However, I did read the dialogue at the bottom of the film, and I'm gonna say right away, I really enjoyed this film. It was very touching. You see this young man. It's called Kes because this young man, Billy Casper, the character, he falls in love with bird watching, and then he is involved with working with a hawk, right? And learning how that works, and training the hawk and reading books. And this is a young man who doesn't do very well in school, but he really enjoys studying birds and hawks and how to train them. And so that's part of the film where you see his love for that animal. Another part of the film, obviously, is how others treat him. And some of these teachers, Ruben, are just awful. There's a PE coach that just traumatizes him. Keeps when there's a scene where he keeps him in the shower, cold water, just to torment him. And the other kids, joking and laughing at him, and just breaks your heart because even his brother who beats up on him. That you see that throughout the whole film, and you think, is there any good teacher in this film? Towards the end of the film, there comes a teacher. I think he teaches English, or at least literature, something like that, because he's interested in the kids' stories, and Billy talks about how he works with this hawk, and the teacher's really engaged. The students are engaged, and you see, wow, this kid's really learning. And so that piece I enjoyed because you see that there's a depiction of some good teachers, but you also see it's a very poor area. Most of the community works with coal. The brothers and fathers work in coal mines, the local coal mine, and so it's tough to look at, and it's a little sad. I'm not going to spoil the ending here, but I really enjoyed it. It was fulfilling. We see movies like this all the time regarding teachers, terrible teachers, but I'm glad that they showed this. There was one teacher that really came through. But Ruben, that's kind of my take. I really enjoyed the film.
This yeah, I think this is a very, very badly dated film. This movie couldn't be made today for a couple of reasons. I can't say there's the good, the bad, and the ugly. There's the bad, there's the not so bad, the bad, and the ugly. And I'll start for the not so bad. This movie would have been powerful if the 400 Blows had never been made. Now, we just reviewed the 400 Blows, and you can't help but be reminded of that film. I mean, didn't you think about that as you were watching this?
I did. There are some differences, but definitely very similar. You're right. Very similar.
Well, of course there were differences, but many differences. But you see a kid roughly the same age who is being acted upon. So there's some similarities that just jump at you. Who has an interest in things. You mentioned the falconry and the books, and he's reading. You have this kid in 400 Blows, the Francois Truffaut film, where he was interested in great literature. My goodness, Honoré de Balzac, the greatest of all time, in my opinion. And the teacher just doesn't see it. Similarly, this PE coach, which you mentioned, can't see the forest for the trees. I mean, he can't block a soccer ball by what looks like a 20-year-old coming at him. It's very cartoonish. It's like, I don't see how anybody today could really enjoy this film, which is kind of unfair because many people today can't enjoy Citizen Kane either, or touch of evil. So maybe I shouldn't say that. However,
Or maybe 400 blows.
no, I think people can enjoy 400 blows.
Okay.
I think people can. I mean,
All right.
if you can overcome the boundary or the barrier of the French language, when I say people, I mean younger people. Maybe some high schoolers, some 20-year-olds, early 20s. But if you can if you can accept certain things, the 400 blows will work. This, you are right. You could barely understand the English. And also, it felt very cartoonish. This big kid kicking the soccer ball. Okay, now here's my issue. So this is a cinematic thing that I think is very critical to why it's not a strong piece. So you have this soccer coach who slaps the kid. Now remember, again, that's very 400 blows. That happened in the 400 blows, but it happened once. And you felt the sting of it, as the boy felt the sting of it. But the soccer coach does it again. 10 minutes later, does it again. And as I'm watching it, I'm thinking, does the director know that it doesn't mean anything at this point? And we're laughing at the coach. And even the kid is laughing at the coach. It's not very powerful to me. And so then they got into this is where I had to turn off the film, the child nudity thing. Again, this is we can't. I don't want to be that guy who judges the past by the criteria of today or by the standards of today. But my goodness, dude, this kid's 12, 11 years old. Now we criticize Fast Times at Ridgemont High as much as it's a good film. I get uncomfortable when high school teens are depicted in nudity, and it's not cool. However, at some level, you think, well, these are adults, but this is a kid, and it's multiple nude scenes.
There are a couple of scenes, yeah.
I felt really uncomfortable, and I was like, and I felt this is a little bit exploitative, and I'm just as free as things were in the 60s. I still felt this was a bridge too far, and I just and then they got deep into it. At one point, they got a little bit too much. I said, I've seen enough. I don't like the movie. I'm good.
Oh wow, I totally disagree. I really liked it. I thought the scenery was beautiful. Yeah, there's a couple of scenes with the young boy with you see his backside. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. Although I remember it's 1970 and it wasn't for sexual reasons or anything like that. So I kind of let it go. Like you'd see a baby's bottom in a way. But I just thought there had a lot of heart. This young boy really wanted to be educated in this area and really wanted to work with animals. And you felt like he's going to end up working in a coal mine. Yes, there's a lot of similarities to 400 Blows. And he probably got the inspiration. It's based on a book, but still got the inspiration from that film. I liked it, but you know what? We're going to have our disagreements. But those out there, go ahead and see it. But
I want to say,
go ahead.
It's so weird because once we don't want to. Anyway, let me just talk for a second and say that I get very uncomfortable critiquing harshly these films like Mr. Chips, classic films. This is a very celebrated film, and we've gotten knocked, i.e. I've gotten knocked, not so much you, because I have critiqued these films. Now, I'm not saying I'm correct. This is just my opinion, Wow, people are so passionate about our movie reviews. I wish I could like every movie. I wish I could just say, you know what, I'm going to pretend I like something. But remember, this is just my opinion, people. I know Kes is very well regarded. I know Ken Loach is a celebrated filmmaker, and this is probably his most celebrated film.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't like it. So
there you go.
Please don't take it personal. Please don't get too personal with me.
No. And Ruben, and for the audience, everybody has their opinion, like you shared, but again, go ahead and watch it. I think it's worth watching. You may turn it off like Ruben did, but I think you'll sit through the whole thing because it's beautiful. And in the ending, you have to watch the ending. It's really great ending. So that being said, I want to thank you all for joining us on Pod and Deliver. Please subscribe to our channel. Press that button, press that like button, and we want to thank you for being here. We'll see you soon on Pod and Deliver. Bye-bye.